we're humble people, and there's not much that we have to be offering even our own people.
In the most isolated corners of the planet, where civilization has yet to leave its mark, there exist tribes whose existence is as mysterious as it is terrifying. With customs, rituals, and beliefs that defy our understanding, these tribes have kept their secrets for centuries, resisting the invasion of outsiders. From the dense jungles of the Amazon to the lost islands in the Pacific, these cultures have thrived in complete darkness, defending their traditions with a ferocity that terrifies even the bravest explorers. Join us in discovering 15 of the most terrifying tribes in the world, and you will see why some boundaries must remain untouched. Would you dare to meet them? Number 15, the Suri tribe. The Suri tribe, located in southwestern Ethiopia and parts of South Sudan, is a resilient group of about 34,000 people, known for their unique customs and strong cultural identity. The tribe is divided into three main groups: Turaga, Chai, and Bana, each with distinct traditions. Their spirituality centers around Tumu, a sky deity, and the Kimura, a religious leader who mediates between the community and Tumu, guiding both spiritual practices and social cohesion. The Suri face external challenges, including frequent violent conflicts with neighboring tribes, exacerbated by the influx of modern weapons during the Sudanese Civil War. These conflicts have forged unity within the tribe, but also deepened divisions with others. A distinctive aspect of Suri culture is their body modification rituals, particularly among women, who undergo procedures like lip piercing and inserting clay plates to symbolize beauty and maturity. While modernization threatens these traditions, they remain a powerful cultural symbol of resistance and identity. Despite the pressures of modernization and internal strife, the Suri tribe continues to preserve and adapt their customs, demonstrating the strength of their cultural heritage and the importance of maintaining identity in a globalized world. Number 14, Cargo Cult. The Cargo Cult is a unique religious movement that emerged in Melanesia, particularly in Papua New Guinea, during the colonial era. It developed as a response to the encounter between indigenous societies and technologically advanced Western colonizers. The cult is based on the belief that material goods, or cargo, are divine gifts that can be obtained by following certain practices. Indigenous Melanesians observed the wealth and advanced technology of the colonizers and interpreted these as signs of divine favor. They believed that by imitating Western customs and technologies, they too could receive the same material wealth. Followers of the cargo cult created fake airstrips, control towers, and airplanes made from bamboo and palm leaves, believing these replicas would attract divine blessings in the form of cargo, arriving via planes or ships. One of the most famous events associated with the cargo cult was the 1974 hijacking of an Air France flight by Melanesian rebels, who believed the plane would lead them to a promised land of prosperity. While the cargo cult is often peaceful, its frustration over unfulfilled spiritual demands has occasionally led to conflict and violence. Despite the influence of modernization, the cargo cult persists in some Melanesian communities, where rituals imitating Western practices continue in hopes of receiving material goods. This phenomenon highlights the complex ways in which indigenous beliefs adapt to encounters with the outside world, and it remains a fascinating part of Melanesian cultural history. Number 13, the Chukchi people. The Chukchi are an indigenous group that inhabits the northeasternmost regions of Siberia, Russia. Their population at the end of the 20th century was around 14,000, divided into two main groups, the reindeer Chukchi and the maritime Chukchi. Despite speaking the same language, known as Chukchi or Laura dialect, both groups have developed very different lifestyles due to their respective natural environments. The reindeer Chukchi are nomadic and primarily engaged in reindeer herding. These animals provide them with food, milk and meat, clothing, skins, and transportation. The reindeer are therefore fundamental to their way of life. They live in mobile tents or yurts, following the seasonal patterns of grazing. This group travels across the vast Siberian territory, adapting to the extreme cold and seasonal changes. On the other hand, the maritime chuki have a very close relationship with the sea, and their main source of livelihood comes from hunting marine mammals and fishing. They live in fixed villages along the coast and specialize in using boats and kayaks for hunting and fishing. The harsh conditions of the sea, along with the importance of their skills in navigation, fishing, and ocean hunting, have shaped their culture and way of life. Both groups share a belief system deeply rooted in spirituality and nature. The Chukchi believe in the existence of invisible spirits that inhabit the natural world, from the mountains to the seas. These beliefs are reflected in their shamanic ceremonies, which include rituals for healing, divination, and other important spiritual aspects of their daily life. Communal festivals, which often include ritual sacrifices, are also a way to honor and appease the spirits. Number 12. The Mochen tribe. The Mochen tribe, also known as the Sea People, is an Austronesian group that inhabits the MGI archipelago, made up of around 800 islands, located between Thailand and Myanmar. It is believed their origins date back to 6,000 years ago in southern China, before migrating to Southeast Asia and settling on various islands in the region. Today, the Mochen population ranges from 2,000 to 3,000 people who follow a semi-nomadic lifestyle based primarily on hunting, gathering, and a symbiotic relationship with the sea. The Mochen live in seasonal settlements spread across several islands. This nomadic lifestyle allows them to adapt to environmental changes and take advantage of marine resources. Instead of having a single home, they move between the islands depending on the seasons and the abundance of fish in each area. Their traditional homes, built on stilts over shallow waters, allow easy access to fishing banks and protection from tropical storms. One of the most impressive aspects of the Mochen tribe is their ability to free dive. From a young age, children are trained in the technique of holding their breath for long periods underwater. This allows them to dive to great depths without modern diving equipment, collecting shellfish and other marine resources essential to their diet. This exceptional skill has allowed them to thrive in their marine environment and is considered one of the best free diving techniques in the world. Despite their rich culture and skills, the Mochen tribe faces significant challenges due to modernization and the development of the region. Issues such as immigration, property laws that hinder their nomadic lifestyle, and the increasing presence of tourism threaten their way of life. Climate change and environmental regulations have also affected their access to the marine resources they have traditionally exploited sustainably. Government restrictions to protect the environment have altered their way of life and reduced the areas where they can live and fish. Despite these challenges, local and international efforts are being made to help the Mochen tribe preserve their unique way of life while adapting to modern changes. The tribe continues to fight to maintain its ancestral customs while facing the invasion of their territory by tourism and industrial development. The Mochen tribe is an example of cultural resilience and adaptation, and although their survival is threatened, they remain a symbol of human connection with the sea. Number 11. The Yafo tribe. The Yafo tribe inhabits the dense jungle of central Papua New Guinea, a remote region largely untouched by modern civilization. This community is known for its absolute isolation and mysterious existence, remaining largely indifferent to external influences. Their first encounter with the modern world occurred in 1988, when explorer Benedict Allen managed to find their hidden village. Despite the tribe's initial reservations toward outsiders, the Yafo welcomed Allen with open arms and allowed him to participate in ancestral rituals and ceremonies that reflect their deep connection with the land and the spirits. Living in one of the world's most challenging environments has granted the Yafo an ancient wisdom in hunting, fishing, and agriculture. They are experts in gathering edible plants and utilizing natural resources for sustenance. Their ability to survive in the jungle is complemented by a detailed knowledge of the territory, allowing them to hunt both large and small animals, as well as fish in the turbulent rivers of their region. Their understanding of the jungle environment has enabled them to thrive where other tribes might succumb to the challenges of the climate and wildlife. What truly sets the Yafo tribe apart are the exceptional physical abilities of the men. It is said that they possess a strength comparable to that of crocodiles, confronting these fearsome reptiles with a courage that astonishes outsiders. Additionally, their skill in climbing trees gives them a significant advantage, both in hunting and defending their territory. This ability to climb quickly and move through the treetops allows them not only to escape potential threats, but also to launch surprise attacks during their hunts. The Yafo tribe remains a symbol of resilience and human skill in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Their physical abilities and connection with nature continue to be a fascinating mystery, while their ancestral practices remain the foundation of their identity. Number 10. The Moso tribe. The Moso, a tribe located in the remote region of China near Lugu Lake, are known for their unique way of life and cultural practices that have baffled outsiders for centuries. Surrounded by high mountains and deep valleys, this small group has maintained its independence and traditions, fueling the mystery and fascination surrounding their existence. The Moso are descendants of the ancient Bonpo religion, a Tibetan belief system founded by magicians who fled to China in the 8th century. Over the centuries, they have preserved many of the spiritual practices of their ancestors, who believed in reincarnation and maintained a close relationship with spirits. Moso shamans, considered intermediaries between the physical and spiritual worlds, are tasked with maintaining balance between the two realms. The Moso's strong spiritual connection with the invisible world has shaped their identity and way of life, creating a culture that lives in harmony with the environment and the spiritual forces that inhabit it. One of the most striking features of the Moso is their matriarchal system, where women are the heads of households and owners of all property. This model, in contrast to many patriarchal societies, places women at the center of the community, while men play a more subordinate role and do not participate in family decision-making. In addition, the Moso practice walking marriage, a custom where couples do not live together or maintain a formal bond. Instead, men visit women during the night and return to their homes in the morning without permanent commitments or cohabitation. This social and relational system not only challenges traditional marriage conventions, but also reflects a worldview where female autonomy and independence are fundamental to the community's well-being. Often, the Moso are perceived as one of the strangest and most misunderstood tribes in the world due to their unusual customs. However, beyond the misinterpretations, their society functions efficiently based on principles of mutual respect and balance. Their geographical isolation has contributed to many of their practices, such as walking marriage and the central role of women, remaining unique in the global context. Although their customs may seem perplexing to outsiders, the Moso continue to be an example of how a culture can develop autonomously, preserving its traditions over generations while challenging conventional social norms. Number 9. The Kundiawa tribe. Located in the rich valleys of Kundiawa at an altitude of about 2,000 meters above sea level and surrounded by the rugged terrain of the Chimu River, the Kundiawa tribe stands out for its customs and vibrant culture. This community, which inhabits a mountainous region prone to conflicts and territorial disputes, has managed to preserve its identity and traditions despite the hostilities surrounding it. One of the tribe's most striking characteristics is their practice of the dancing skeletons, a ritual with both an intimidation purpose and tourist appeal. Tribe members adorn themselves with intricate designs that mimic the bone structure, creating a visually striking image. These dances are choreographed in great detail and carry strong spiritual significance, connecting the tribe with their ancestors and the natural world. Although their initial purpose was to intimidate rivals and protect the community, they have also become a source of income by attracting tourists interested in the fascinating tradition. The ritual not only reinforces the tribe's sense of identity, but also serves as an effective tactic for managing conflicts in their region and drawing external attention. The housing model of the Kundiawa tribe also reflects their collective way of life. Men live in communal houses, promoting a sense of camaraderie and shared responsibility. Meanwhile, women, children, and pigs live in separate houses, a structure that responds not only to social organization, but also to concerns about security and protection. This approach to group living strengthens social bonds and reinforces cohesion within the tribe, ensuring that members take care of each other. This communal lifestyle allows the tribe to remain united and functional, even in a geographically challenging environment prone to disputes. Due to their unusual practices and striking appearance, the Kundiawa have been seen by neighboring tribes as possessed by the devil. However, the community is not aggressive by nature. Instead, they use their appearance and rituals as a form of deterrence. The combination of isolation, deep spiritual beliefs, and defensive strategies has allowed the Kundiawa to maintain their autonomy in a region marked by constant tension. Despite the misconceptions about their nature, the Kundiawa have managed to survive and thrive in a region marked by violence, using their culture and rituals as a survival tool. Number 8. The Asmat tribe. The Asmat tribe, one of the world's most fascinating and mysterious cultures, inhabits the impenetrable mangroves of Papua New Guinea in an environment as challenging as their way of life. Their existence has captivated researchers and explorers for generations, who have attempted to unravel their secrets and understand their complex customs. The Asmat are known for their astonishing wood-carving skills. With an art passed down through generations, they create detailed sculptures that represent historical figures, spirits, and animals. These pieces are not mere ornaments, but sacred representations that hold profound spiritual meaning, as the Asmat believe their works act as vehicles to connect with the world of spirits. Each figure is a visual representation of their worldview, a tangible symbol of their relationship with the invisible beings that inhabit their environment. The Asmat's relationship with their surroundings is deeply spiritual. They believe that the forest is filled with powerful spirits and ancestors who guide their daily lives. For this reason, they celebrate complex rituals that include dances, songs, and offerings. These rituals are not just acts of veneration, but also ways to maintain balance between the physical and spiritual worlds. This spiritual bond gives them strength and direction, influencing their decision-making and how they interact with nature. Although one of the most well-known and feared aspects of the Asmat tribe is their practice of cannibalism, it is important to understand that it was not a brutal custom, but a deeply religious act. Consuming the flesh of defeated enemies was not an act of mere barbarism, but a way to acquire their strength and wisdom. Cannibalism took place in specific ceremonies, either to avenge a death or as part of a religious rite to ensure the prosperity of the community. This practice, while terrifying to many, had a symbolic and spiritual purpose for the Asmat, reflecting their views on life, death, and survival. Despite their fierce reputation, the Asmat are also known for their skills as navigators. They use skillfully carved canoes to navigate the treacherous waters of the swamps and mangroves, traveling to trade with neighboring tribes. These exchanges not only provide them with material goods, but also allow them to share knowledge and cultural practices with other communities. Through trade, the Asmat not only survive, but also keep their traditions alive and foster relationships with other cultures in the region. Number 7. The headhunters of the Naga. Hidden among the vast hills and dense forests of northeastern India, the Naga have long been a source of fascination for their unique culture and ancient practices. This tribe, which inhabits the states of Nagaland, Manipur, and Arunachal Pradesh, has managed to maintain a lifestyle that combines a profound spiritual connection with nature and traditions that, although extreme to the outside world, are essential for understanding their worldview. Their ability to handle venomous snakes with near supernatural precision is just one of the many facets that make them unique. These creatures are not only part of their environment, but also play a significant role in their ceremonies and rituals, often used to instill fear and respect among their enemies. One of the most recognized aspects of Naga culture is the ancient practice of head hunting, a tradition that has captured the attention of archaeologists and historians worldwide. While this custom has largely disappeared due to external influences and social changes, its spiritual and cultural significance remains crucial for understanding this community. For the Naga, the human head was considered the most sacred part of the body, carrying immense spiritual power. Collecting the heads of their enemies was not only an act of war, but also a way to appease their deities and ensure the prosperity of their tribe. This ritual, deeply rooted in superstition and mysticism, reflects the importance the Naga place on supernatural forces and spiritual balance as an integral part of their life. Despite the arrival of modernity and increasing connectivity with the outside world, the Naga have shown remarkable resilience in preserving their cultural identity. However, social and demographic transformations have put many of their ancestral customs at risk. Over time, traditions that once defined this tribe have been relegated to a secondary role, though their influence is still evident in communities that continue to uphold spiritual and social practices. This contrast between the past and present makes the Naga one of the most intriguing cultures in the world, a living testament to how beliefs and customs can evolve while maintaining their essence. The future of the Naga, like that of many other indigenous communities, remains uncertain. Modernization, urbanization, and economic changes pose challenges that threaten to dilute their cultural identity. However, their history of resistance and adaptation serves as a reminder of the importance of protecting and valuing cultures that, like the Naga, offer a window into a way of life deeply connected to the natural and spiritual world. In an increasingly globalized world, preserving these traditions is not only an act of respect for the past, but also an opportunity to learn about the diversity and cultural richness of humanity. Number 6. The dlala tribe. The dlala tribe, also known as the Kubo, resides in the heart of the vast and remote rainforest of the Javari River Valley in Brazil, one of the most isolated areas in the world. Their ancestral territory spans a lush landscape teeming with biodiversity, providing both natural resources and a safe refuge for their traditional way of life. The dlala have established a harmonious relationship with their environment, adapting to the complexities of the jungle with ancestral wisdom passed down through generations. One of the distinctive features of this tribe is their Panuano language, a cultural link that deeply connects them with other indigenous peoples of the region, such as the Matis and the Mayuna. Through their language, the dlala keep their oral traditions alive, filled with stories, myths, and rituals that form the core of their identity. The language is not only a means of communication, but also a way to preserve knowledge about nature, hunting, and spiritual rituals that define their existence. The dlala are easily recognizable by their body adornments, which include intricate tattoos and handmade decorative items made from materials found in the jungle. These items are not only aesthetic decorations, but symbols that reflect status, belonging, and the personal history of each tribe member. In addition, their nomadic and self-sufficient lifestyle is based on an exceptional skill for hunting. They use blowguns to hunt small animals and precision traps to capture larger prey, all in perfect harmony with their environment. Despite their small population and isolated location, the dlala have managed to maintain surprising independence, resisting the pressures of modernity. However, they face constant threats from illegal logging, deforestation, and the encroachment of outsiders on their ancestral land. Despite these challenges, the tribe continues to fight to preserve their culture, land, and way of life, holding firmly to their roots and identity with unwavering determination. The dlala tribe, with its rich culture, profound respect for nature, and resilience in the face of external adversity, remains an example of survival in one of the planet's most remote and protected corners. Number 5. The Skeleton Clan, Zorox Tribe. The Skeleton Clan, or Zorox Tribe, resides in a remote and isolated region within the dense forests of an undisclosed territory. Despite their mysterious and poorly documented nature, this tribe has captured the attention of researchers and explorers due to their enigmatic origins, hostile behavior, and peculiar customs. The Skeleton Clan is known for their unsettling appearance and aggressiveness towards neighboring tribes. In a region that is difficult to access, they have managed to stay relatively isolated and preserve their identity. They are feared for their tendency to attack those who venture too close to their territory, and encounters with other communities are an integral part of their history. A particularly intriguing aspect of the Skeleton Clan is the discovery of a unique gene in their DNA. Despite their isolation, scientists have managed to obtain genetic samples, suggesting that this tribe may have origins that significantly differ from other known human communities. Some researchers speculate that this gene could be the result of isolated evolution, while others suggest that the Zorox may descend from a completely different lineage. This finding opens new doors for human genetic research, fueling theories about human evolution and the possible origins of this enigmatic tribe. Despite their secretive nature, the Skeleton Clan is known for their elaborate spiritual rituals. These include chants, intricate dances, and symbolic movements that are considered essential for community and spiritual life. These rituals are performed to honor the spirits and ensure the well-being of the clan, and very few outsiders have had access to these ceremonies. Number 4. The Karino people. The Karino, also known as the NLE, are a small and isolated indigenous group living in the deep Amazon rainforest of Peru's Manu National Park. With a population of 100 to 250 people, the tribe has remained largely unknown and autonomous, shaped by a history of isolation and resistance. Their tragic history dates back to the 1890s, when Peruvian industrialist Carlos Fitzcarrald orchestrated a mass slaughter of the tribe, nearly wiping them out. This event led the survivors to retreat further into the jungle, and they have since maintained strict isolation, rejecting contact with outsiders. The memory of this trauma continues to fuel their mistrust of visitors and reinforces their commitment to living apart from the outside world. The Karino are expert hunters and gatherers with an intimate knowledge of the Amazon rainforest. They navigate the jungle with traditional techniques, relying on its flora and fauna for food, medicine, and shelter. This deep connection to their environment has enabled them to survive independently, preserving their own beliefs and practices. To protect their way of life, the Peruvian government enforces strict isolation policies, including prohibiting contact to prevent the spread of diseases. Occasionally, the Karino request help from nearby communities, as they did in 2013 when they sought food. These isolation measures are vital to preserving their health, culture, and traditional lifestyle. Number 3. The Sentinelese. The Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world, live on North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal. For tens of thousands of years, they have maintained a self-sufficient way of life, untouched by modern civilization. What distinguishes them most is their fierce resistance to contact, rejecting all attempts at communication with outsiders. In response to violent encounters, the Indian government has established a 5 kilometers exclusion zone around the island to protect their isolation. This decision not only respects their autonomy, but also highlights the dangers that modern civilization poses to vulnerable cultures. The Sentineleses rely on traditional hunting and fishing methods, demonstrating deep knowledge of their environment. Their lifestyle reflects a profound connection to nature and a remarkable ability to survive in a challenging tropical ecosystem. Attempts to contact the Sentineleses have often ended in violence, such as the killing of 2 fishermen in 2006. These incidents reinforce the tribe's determination to protect their way of life. The Sentineleses' rejection of outsiders has sparked ethical debates about whether such contact should be attempted, particularly given the risks of disease and other threats to their survival. Number 2. The Batak tribe of Palawan. In the heart of Palawan Island, Philippines, lives the Batak tribe, a community that has withstood the test of time and the onslaught of modernity, preserving a cultural heritage that dates back to prehistoric times. Although one of the smallest tribes in the country, with a population that has dramatically decreased over the centuries, the Batak have managed to maintain their traditional way of life, based on a deep relationship with nature and a social system that prioritizes collective well-being. Their sustenance primarily depends on slash-and-burn agriculture, an ancient practice that allows them to utilize the land's resources without depleting them. Additionally, they supplement their diet with hunting and gathering, collecting items such as honey, rattan poles, and alamaya resin, resources that are not only essential for their survival, but also represent a direct link to the natural environment around them. The nearby streams and rivers, along with limited access to the sea, provide additional food sources, reinforcing their connection to water as a vital source of life. One of the most notable features of the Batak is their ability to adapt to adversity. Their resilience is reflected not only in their ancestral knowledge of local flora and fauna, but also in their capacity to adapt to a changing environment. Their distinctive physical traits, characterized by short stature, dark skin, and curly hair, reflect centuries of evolution and adaptation to the climate and challenges of their habitat. However, what truly distinguishes this community is their worldview, deeply spiritual and rooted in nature. For the Batak, elements of the environment, such as trees and rocks, are inhabited by spirits that directly influence their daily lives. Through rituals and ceremonies, they seek to establish balance with these beings, invoking their protection and healing for the community. Over time, the Batak population has faced numerous challenges. While their number was estimated at 1,000 individuals at the beginning of the 20th century, a census conducted in 1990 revealed that only 450 remained. Today, the Batak live in 8 communities, where important decisions are made collectively under a leadership system headed by a chief chosen by the elders. This traditional form of governance not only ensures the preservation of their values, but also strengthens community ties in a world that seems increasingly distant from these practices. Despite their geographic isolation, the Batak have not been exempt from external pressures. In recent years, they have had to face land invasions and the exploitation of natural resources that have sustained their way of life for centuries. Nevertheless, their determination to preserve their cultural identity remains steadfast. The tribe continues to stand as a symbol of resistance against modernization, fighting to maintain their traditions and values in a constantly changing environment. The Batak not only represent an invaluable connection to the past, but also serve as a reminder of the importance of protecting indigenous cultures at risk of disappearing. Number 1. Kazak eagle hunters. In the remote and rugged terrain of the Alai Mountains in Mongolia, the Kazak tribe has perfected the ancient art of eagle hunting over centuries. This ancestral practice is not just a hunting method, but a deeply significant cultural tradition, passed down from generation to generation, symbolizing a sacred bond between hunters and their majestic golden eagles. Historical records of this practice date back to the era of Genghis Khan, and today it continues to be a source of national pride. The training of the eagles begins from a young age, and the bond that is formed between the hunter and the bird deepens over the years. During hunts, the hunters on horseback guide their eagles to precisely attack prey such as foxes and wolves. The perfect synchronization between the two shows impressive skill, where the hunter and eagle become inseparable partners in the fight for survival. This ritual not only demonstrates expertise, but also a deep respect for nature. The Kazak eagle hunting is not just a skill, but a tradition that honors the balance between man and nature, a perfect example of symbiosis in human culture. Over time, this practice has gained international recognition. Documentaries and reports have helped highlight not only the art of hunting, but also the cultural heritage of the Kazakh hunters, showcasing their spiritual connection with the eagles and the nature that surrounds them. This tradition is now a symbol of resistance and majesty. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the most terrifying tribes of the world. See you next time.